Hello everyone. Before we delve into today's episode, I know many of you use these videos to help you sleep. I want to express my gratitude to everyone who supports us by liking and sharing our content. Please take a moment to say hello and leave a comment, letting us know where in the world you're tuning in from. Your engagement is truly appreciated and contributes to making this channel stand out. If you're new to our channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. And now, take a moment to relax, turn off the lights, and let's get started. In the tranquil embrace of Ravenswood, nestled amidst the undulating contours of rolling hills and the dense embrace of ancient forests, there resides a tale as old as time itself, a legend whispered in hushed tones among the townsfolk, passed down through generations like a cherished heirloom. It is the legend of the Watcher, a mysterious entity that haunts the very fabric of the town's existence, casting a shadow of fear upon its once idyllic streets. The origins of the Watcher are as murky as the depths of the night itself, shrouded in mystery and speculation. Some say it is the restless spirit of a long-forgotten soul, condemned to wander the earth for eternity, while others whisper of dark rituals and forbidden magic that birthed this malevolent presence into being. As the sun dips below the horizon and the veil of darkness descends upon Ravenswood, a palpable sense of unease settles over the town like a heavy blanket. It is then that the Watcher emerges from the shadows, its presence heralded by an otherworldly chill that seems to seep into the very bones of those unfortunate enough to cross its path. The first sign of the Watcher's arrival is the scent of burnt wood that hangs heavy in the air, a lingering reminder of the infernal fires that fuel its insatiable hunger for fear and despair. It is a scent that lingers long after the Watcher has vanished into the night, a haunting echo of its malevolent presence. But it is not just the scent that heralds the Watcher's approach, it is the eerie sensation of being watched, of unseen eyes peering out from the darkness, following every move with relentless scrutiny. It is a feeling that gnaws at the edges of sanity, driving even the bravest souls to the brink of madness. Those who have encountered the Watcher speak of whispered voices that drift through the stillness of the night, faint echoes of long-forgotten secrets that send shivers down the spine and chill the blood to its very core. Though the words themselves remain unintelligible, their sinister tone speaks volumes of the darkness that lies at the heart of the Watcher's realm. But perhaps the most unsettling aspect of the Watcher is its ability to manipulate the physical world, bending reality to its twisted will. Lights flicker and die in its presence, casting the town into darkness, while doors creak open and shut of their own accord, as if guided by an invisible hand. It is a display of power that defies explanation, leaving those who witness it paralyzed with fear. As reports of encounters with the Watcher multiply, the town's authorities find themselves powerless to stop the encroaching darkness. Despite their best efforts, they are no match for the malevolent force that lurks in the shadows, leaving the residents of Ravenswood to fend for themselves against this ancient evil. And so, the legend of the Watcher lives on, a dark specter that looms large in the collective consciousness of the town. It is a tale of terror that refuses to be forgotten, a reminder that even in the quietest of towns, there are forces at work beyond the comprehension of mortal minds. So, should you ever find yourself wandering the streets of Ravenswood on a moonless night, beware, for the Watcher may be watching, waiting to claim its next victim in the endless dance of fear and despair. In every rustle of leaves, in every flicker of light, the presence of the Watcher lingers, a chilling reminder of the fragility of human existence in the face of ancient malevolence. In the small town of Ravenswood, nestled amidst a dense forest, stood a dilapidated mansion that had long been abandoned. Locals spoke of the house in hushed whispers, for it held a chilling secret that sent shivers down their spines. According to the legend, a family had once resided within those decaying walls, but tragedy befell them when their beloved daughter, Amelia, mysteriously vanished without a trace. Rumors spread like wildfire, claiming that Amelia's spirit was trapped within an ancient mirror that remained untouched in the house. The mirror was said to possess an otherworldly power that allowed the girl's ghostly presence to linger, her tormented whispers echoing through the halls on moonlit nights. It was on such a night that curiosity got the better of Sarah, a brave but foolhardy teenager. Drawn by the allure of the paranormal, she found herself standing before the imposing mansion, determination etched on her face. With a trembling hand, she pushed open the creaking front door and stepped into the darkness that lay beyond. The interior of the mansion was a chilling tableau frozen in time. Dust-covered furniture, faded portraits, and cobwebs adorned the rooms, casting an eerie pallor over everything. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as she made her way through the labyrinthine hallways, following the whispers that seemed to beckon her deeper into the house. Finally, Sarah arrived at a room that seemed untouched by the ravages of time. In the center stood the fabled mirror, veiled by a dusty sheet as if hiding its secrets. The air grew heavy, and an icy breeze brushed against her skin as she approached the mirror. With a trembling hand, she reached out, hesitated for a moment, and then swiftly pulled the sheet away. A hush fell over the room, and Sarah's breath caught in her throat. The mirror's surface gleamed like polished obsidian, and within it, she saw her own reflection staring back at her. But as she continued to gaze into the mirror, the room grew colder, and the whispers grew louder, forming a cacophony of haunting voices that called out her name. Fear pulsed through Sarah's veins, urging her to flee, but an inexplicable force held her in place. Panic coursed through her as the whispers intensified, becoming an unintelligible symphony of despair and longing. The mirror seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, and Sarah felt a chilling presence enveloping her. In her desperation to escape, Sarah stumbled backward, tripping over an upturned rug. Her hand crashed against a shard of broken glass, and a searing pain shot through her palm. Blood dripped onto the mirror's surface, staining it crimson. In that instant, the reflection within the mirror warped and contorted, morphing into a grotesque figure with hollow eyes and outstretched, skeletal hands. The mirror shattered with a deafening crack, shards of glass flying in all directions like deadly projectiles, and the vengeful spirit of Amelia burst forth, her ethereal form seething with anger and longing. Sarah's screams were swallowed by the darkness as the spirit's spectral hands closed around her, dragging her into the fragmented mirror. The broken shards seemed to devour her, consuming her existence until she became nothing more than a wisp of forgotten memory. As dawn broke over Ravenswood, the shattered mirror lay in shards, a testament to the horrors that had transpired. The tale of Sarah's fate spread through the town, leaving a lingering sense of dread in its wake. Locals warned one another to steer clear of the cursed mansion and its whispering mirror, for those who dared to venture near risked losing themselves to the vengeful spirits trapped within. Years later, a group of paranormal enthusiasts arrived in Ravenswood, drawn by the legends and eager to uncover the truth. Ignoring the warnings, they ventured into the abandoned mansion, armed with cameras and recording devices. They explored every room, documenting their findings, until they reached the chamber where the mirror once stood. To their shock, they found the shattered remnants of the mirror, its fragments scattered across the floor. Fascinated by the macabre artifacts, they collected the shards, unaware of the dark power that still lingered within. That night, as the group reviewed their findings in a nearby hotel room, they pieced the shards together, reconstructing the mirror. The moment the last shard clicked into place, a malevolent presence filled the room. The mirror's surface rippled, distorting their reflections into twisted, nightmarish visions. In a cruel twist of fate, the spirits of Amelia and Sarah emerged from the mirror, their spectral forms illuminated by an unholy glow. With vengeful fury, they exacted their revenge upon the unsuspecting enthusiasts, dragging them into the mirror's depths, trapping their souls for eternity. The whispers of the mirror continued to haunt Ravenswood, warning all who heard them of the cursed fate that awaited those who dared to tamper with its shattered remnants. The mansion stood as a grim reminder of the horrors that lay within, its walls echoing with the tormented cries of those who had ventured too close. From that day forward, the shattered mirror became a cautionary tale passed down through generations, a tale of twisted endings and the eternal anguish of lost souls. The townspeople, gripped by fear, decided to seal off the mansion, hoping to contain the malevolent forces within its crumbling facade. Yet, even in the confines of their homes, the residents of Ravenswood could not escape the haunting whispers that echoed through the night. The spirits of Amelia, Sarah, and the ill-fated enthusiasts continued to roam the town, their spectral forms appearing in mirrors and reflections, forever seeking solace and revenge. To this day, Ravenswood remains a place of darkness and foreboding, forever marked by the tragic tale of the Whispering Mirror. Visitors who dare to set foot in the town are met with a sense of unease, as if the spirits of the shattered mirror still linger, waiting for their chance to ensnare another unsuspecting soul. And so, the legend lives on, a chilling reminder that some horrors are best left undisturbed, and that in the darkest corners of our world, twisted endings await those who dare to unlock the secrets of the supernatural. This eerie story begins on the desolate highway that winds its way through the outskirts of town, a road haunted by the specter of a hitchhiker whose presence spells doom for those who dare to stop. According to local lore, on the desolate stretch of highway that cut through the outskirts of town, there roamed a lone hitchhiker, her ghostly form illuminated by the pale light of the moon. She appeared to weary travelers in the dead of night, her ethereal presence a harbinger of impending doom. The story began with a young couple, Adam and Emily, who were driving home one foggy evening after a late-night movie in the neighboring town. As they rounded a bend in the road, they spotted a figure standing at the side of the highway, a woman with long, flowing hair and a tattered dress, her thumb extended in silent plea for a ride. Adam slowed the car to a stop, feeling a pang of sympathy for the stranded traveler. Emily, however, was filled with an inexplicable sense of dread, her instincts screaming at her to drive away. But before she could voice her concerns, Adam rolled down the window and offered the hitchhiker a ride. The woman climbed into the back seat, her presence sending a chill through the car. She spoke little, her voice barely above a whisper, as Adam navigated the winding roads leading back to Willow Creek. With each passing mile, Emily's unease grew, her eyes darting nervously to the rearview mirror where the hitchhiker sat in eerie silence. As they approached the outskirts of town, the hitchhiker suddenly spoke, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. "This is where I get off," she said, her words sending a shiver down Emily's spine. Adam pulled the car to a stop, and the hitchhiker climbed out, disappearing into the mist-shrouded darkness without a backward glance. Relief washed over Emily as the car pulled away, the memory of the encounter already beginning to fade. But as they reached the edge of town, Emily's blood ran cold. Reflected in the rearview mirror, she saw the hitchhiker's ghostly figure standing by the roadside, her eyes fixed on the car with a haunting intensity. Adam slammed on the brakes, his heart pounding in his chest as he turned to Emily, his face drained of color. "Did you see that?" he whispered, his voice trembling with fear. Emily nodded, her voice barely a whisper. "We have to go back. We have to make sure she's okay." With a sense of foreboding hanging heavy in the air, Adam turned the car around and headed back to where they had left the hitchhiker. But when they reached the spot where she had vanished into the night, there was no sign of her, no trace that she had ever been there at all. For years to come, the tale of the vanishing hitchhiker haunted the residents of Willow Creek, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurked in the darkness. And though some dismissed it as nothing more than a ghost story, others knew better, for they had seen the hitchhiker's ghostly form with their own eyes, a silent sentinel of the night, forever roaming the lonely highways in search of her next unsuspecting victim.